love to promote local authors, and that's exactly what we're doing today. This is a child's book, and it has been created by these two gentlemen sitting next to me. Dipnetting with Dad by Willie Sellers and illustrated by Kevin Easthope. It's both their first kick at the can when it comes to writing books. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Williams Lake is where you hail from. You guys drove down this morning. First of all, how was the drive? Was it good?
There's nothing more better than driving in the winter. It's my favorite time to drive if the roads are good.
Good for you. It freaks me right out, but I'm glad to hear that you love it. Only if it's not too bad.
Yeah, I saved a guy last year, actually.
Good for you.
Yeah, we can talk about that in another interview,
That'll be another segment, right? Because today we're talking about this book. And in talking to you earlier, before we went on the air, you divulged to me that this book is a little bit about your own childhood experience. When, in my mind, when I read it, I thought you were the dad, but you're the son.
Yeah, I know my name makes me sound like a 55, 56-year-old man, but
Willie Sellers.
I was actually the young child in this book. Growing up, this is a story about the first time I went dip net fishing with my dad and my family. So
let's talk about this experience. Dip netting is something that is a form of catching salmon. It's not fishing, it's dip netting. How is it different?
It's a traditional form of dip netting from the interior First Nation, interior BC First Nation. Big in our part of the province. I know there's a lot of First Nations that are around in our area that actually rely on dip net fishing for their winter fish supply.
And then at the end, you learn how to smoke it, and then you eat it, and this is a huge family process. Everybody's a part of it.
Yeah, it's a great learning tool, and I think that's where the majority of the uptake has been, is with the schools. It's right from the preparation to the trip to the river, to the catching of the fish, to the preparation of the fish, and the eventual reward of eating the fish at the end of the day.
And so this is a tradition that's been passed down through the decades, and you wanted to write about it because you wanted to make sure that people, other cultures, understand it and its significance. Would that be right?
Yeah, and it's a great learning tool, like I said before. I know reading it to my kids, it's something that they experience every summer, and it's something that we wanted to pass on to the other kids that are growing up in the community, that this is not only a big part of our tradition, but it's like really cool and awesome to do.
Right, a huge family tradition. And then you hooked up with Kevin Easthope, who illustrated the pictures. And by the way, well done. They're beautiful pictures. How did you guys come to pair up on this?
Well, I fought fire for a number of years at Williams Lake at an initial attack base up at the airport, and Willie worked there as well. And I showed him some of my independent artwork, and he approached me with this idea in 2010 that he wanted a story illustrated, and I turned him down right away because it scared the heck out of me.
Did it?
Yeah, and just the size of the book and the amount of time I would have to commit to it was quite intimidating. And then an entire year went by, and he approached me again, and I was in.
Good for you, and it's worked out really well. It's a great book. It's really well presented, and the whole story from beginning to end it's very interesting, and I think it's important to pass down cultural traditions and make sure people understand them. You made a quick reference to the idea that perhaps this is going to be, is this being shown in or presented in schools, this book, did you say, or? Well,
actually, we have a good friend of ours, Kevin's fiance. She wrote a teaching guide for it to start us off with, so that's available on the Caitlin Press website. We have a Facebook page out there, so make sure that you like our Facebook page. We have over 800 likes, which is definitely a record of mine, personally. So me and Kevin together, I think, teamed up. We like to feel that we've made a bit of a super team.
Good for you. Good for you. What did you get out of writing this? I mean, how does it make you feel good about passing something like this on? Because you're doing this with your kids now.
Yeah, it's something that's going to live forever. I mean, that's something that we always said when we were writing the book, is going to live on way past our lives. It's going to live, you know, as long as they print books, as long as they print paper, it's going to be out there for everyone to access. And I think that's what really hits close to home. It's a story that'll be passed on. We always say that storytelling is a big part of First Nations cultures and traditions, and what better way to tell a story, to pass a story down, is through a book, I guess, some literature out there.
Absolutely. And as a former reporter with the station, I have gone out and covered stories where you're out doing this, and you don't really understand it. So it's kind of nice to see it in an easy laid out format as to what's really going on with the family and how it's become such a huge tradition. So it's neat to see it from the other side as well. Tell me this, you are having a book signing coming up at Chapters this weekend. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I've been doing the majority of the talking, so I'm going to pass the torch over to Kevin.
Okay, Kevin, start talking.
We have a signing and a reading on Saturday, I believe, at 1 o'clock at Chapters in Kamloops, and we're more than happy to answer every question that people are going to have about the process of creating the book, down to what colors I used for the t-shirts and pants.
Really?
It should be a lot of fun.
Just even about the colors of the outfits. That's very detailed.
If you have
Excellent.
a question, I will answer that question for you.
Okay, so Sunday again, 1 o'clock, is that right?
Sunday at 1 o'clock, and we're not sure the amount of books that the Chapters bookstore has. So I'd recommend that if you wanted us to sign a copy, make sure you get up there and get a pre-ordered one, or get one ordered off the internet, because they've been going like hotcakes.
Good for you. Well, you know what? Congratulations to the both of you. First kick at the can. It's a beautiful book, and great to pass on traditions to other people and let them know about it. So thank you for being here today.
Thanks
Yes.
for having us.
You're
Thank
very
you
welcome.
so very much. This
You're
is a very
so
fun
welcome.
experience.
Good, I'm glad. Information is on the screen. If you would like to meet Kevin and Willie, they will be at Chapters at 1 o'clock on Sunday for a book signing and a reading. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.